You've been taught to climb toward God one prayer, one apology, one self-improvement plan at a time. But what if the ladder itself is the illusion? Joel Goldsmith pointed to a quieter truth. You are not a sinner trying to impress a distant judge. You are already the expression of the infinite. The instant you drop the costume of broken and unworthy, your life begins to rearrange itself, not because you convinced God, but because you stopped contradicting what God already knows about you. So take a breath with me now and try this on. A perfect cause cannot produce a flawed effect. If God is infinite life, then your truest identity cannot be anything but life expressed. The old story says, I am defective. Maybe prayer will make me acceptable. Goldsmith flips it. Prayer is not changing God's opinion of you. Prayer is changing your opinion of yourself. Imagine waking tomorrow with a quiet certainty. I am God's child, now. Not if, not when. Not after I fix myself, but now. Notice what falls away: the bargaining, the bracing, the subtle begging in your chest. In its place comes a steadier posture. Recognition. Recognition isn't positive thinking or a motivational trick. It is alignment with what already is. Begin from presence, not lack. Before asking for anything, pause and acknowledge. God is the only presence where I am. That presence expresses as me. Let that sentence breathe in you for a minute. No agenda. No shopping list, just awareness recognizing itself. Next, release the inner fixer who thinks salvation hangs on your grip strength. When the mind tightens around problems, whisper. This is the old self, trying to earn what is already given. A return to recognition. Then take action. Send the email, make the budget, have the hard conversation, but do it from sufficiency, instead of panic. Finally, give yourself moments of wordless resting. Once or twice a day, close your eyes and let being be. Don't reach for God. Don't perform spirituality. 10 quiet breaths where you stop trying to use the divine and simply let the divine be what you are. This sounds small. Lived consistently, it rewires your life. Let me show you how this plays out. Maya carried shame like armor. Every prayer was an apology. Every meditation, a confession. She adopted 5 brief recognition pauses each day. She made amends where needed, but she stopped building her identity around past mistakes. Within weeks, her sleep softened. Within months, opportunities she had chased began to chase her. Nothing magical. She simply stopped arguing with truth. Then there was Arun, who dreaded presentations. He used to rehearse fear, not slides. Before each meeting, he took 2 minutes. I stand as expression of intelligence itself. He didn't become loud, he became clear. Colleagues noticed steadiness without ego. Promotion followed not as a prize, but as a byproduct of alignment. What about healing? You ask. Goldsmith never promised to erase the human scene with a snap. He taught that consciousness is cause, and the body and affairs follow. If symptoms linger, you aren't failing spiritually. Keep honoring wise care doctors. Rest, nutrition while refusing to abandon the truth of who you are. Action taken from wholeness carries a different fragrance and yields different results. Sometimes effects shift immediately. More often they unwind as your identification stabilizes. You will meet obstacles. The first is the guilt loop. A memory rises and drags you back. Don't wrestle the memory. Hold 2 truths at once. Yes, I did that, and yes, I remain God's offspring. Repair what can be repaired. Refuse to crown the past as your identity. The second is frightening appearance bank accounts, reports, diagnoses. Let appearance inform your steps, but never define yourself. From recognition, take the next right step. Seeds germinate underground before fields go green. The third obstacle is religious programming whispering. Calling yourself God's child is pride. Goldsmith's correction. True humility is acknowledging God as your very life. False humility is insulting the source by insisting you are less than what it created. The fourth is crisis. When emergencies hit, you won't hold perfect consciousness and you don't need to. Return to recognition for 30 seconds, again and again. Islands of awareness connected by practical action will carry you through the storm. What changes when you live this way? Work shifts. First, you prepare from completeness instead of fear of judgment, and you'll notice clarity replacing defensiveness. Relationships reorganize. You see the person behind the behavior? Recognition doesn't excuse harm. It removes the fuel of condemnation so real change can breathe. Boundaries become clean rather than angry. Money shifts from chasing to channeling. Begin each day acknowledging infinite supply as your nature. Then make the calls. Learn the skill. Send the proposal. Actions taken because you are enough, not to prove you are enough. That posture opens doors you couldn't kick down, and service takes on a sweet power. The quiet practice of beholding. Walk through your days silently, recognizing the divine identity in the barista, the colleague, your child. Hard edges soften without a lecture. If you want a simple 7-day reset, try this. Each morning, sit upright for 2 minutes and breathe. God is the presence here, as me. Before tasks, pause for 30 seconds. I move from sufficiency, not striving. When triggered, take 3 gentle breaths. This is old programming. My identity is established by God. Each evening, 2 minutes of wordless resting, no performance, just gratitude as recognition. So much of today happened through me, not by me. 3 quiet revolutions will sneak up on you. First, language. Asking turns into acknowledging. Please, make me whole. Softens into thank you, wholeness is present. Second, posture. Your chest decisions rise from clarity instead of adrenaline. Third, outcomes. The external begins to mirror the inner, often gradually, sometimes suddenly, because you stopped projecting separation and started radiating fact. If part of you still protests, but what about justice? What about accountability? Hear this clearly. Recognition is not denial. It is the context that allows true repair. You can apologize, repay, or set boundaries from a grounded identity instead of a collapsing one. The more you root in who you are, the more precise and compassionate your actions become. So what happens when you stop being a sinner and become God's child? Everything changes because your consciousness changes, not someday in the distant future, but in the very moment recognition dawns. You realize you've been complete all along, seeking what you already possessed, trying to earn what was freely given before time began. The transformation is not from bad person to good person. It's from false identity to true identity, from living as if separated from God to recognizing yourself as the expression of God, from begging for what you think you lack to acknowledging the infinite present where you are. Right now, confirm it aloud. I am God's child, complete, whole, and loved. Here and now. Let that settle behind your ribs. And if this message landed for you, give it a like so it reaches the people who need it today. Subscribe for weekly Goldsmith-inspired practices that move you from seeking to seeing, from efforting to allowing. Then tell me in the comments, I choose recognition over striving. I'm practicing with you this week, returning to recognition 100 gentle times a day until it stops being something we do and becomes the way we live.